NBA, dominating the court with godly talent unlocked. Episode 76, The Celestial Empire Storm Sweeps the World. Future Soldier's Final Declaration. The referee looked at the basket and waved helplessly to the staff on the sidelines. When Enmu dunked just now, he was still rejoicing in his heart, saying that Enmu did not smash the rebound and dunk this time. Now I find out that I think too much. Although he did not smash the rebound, the basket was crooked by him. The match was suspended as a result. Staff on the field to repair the basket. Xiao Mu, you have less strength when you dunk next time. Yes, if you continue to dunk like this, you may wait until after the Olympics, and the Olympic Committee will have to follow the national team to ask for maintenance costs. Tisk, if Xiao Mu's strength goes to lift weights, he can monopolize the gold medal. Awesome, TSK, come and pinch this muscle, like granite. The teammates of the national team gathered around Enmu and were amazed. Wang Jiji ran to the sidelines and watched curiously as the staff repaired the basket. The maintenance of the basket is still much better than the maintenance of the backboard. Just take the bad ones off and put the good ones on. If it is a rebound, it is necessary to perform complex operations such as removing the frame. Daji, don't look at it, come over and arrange the tactics. This competition was forced to be suspended, but gave the Celestial Empire time to arrange tactics. Wang Jiji heard someone shouting to him, turned around and returned to his teammates. At the same time, he said, I used to play basketball, and I have never seen a basketball hoop repaired. I've been playing the Olympics this year and I've watched it several times. After speaking, Wang Jiji said to Enmu, Brother Mu, if I break the rebound in the future, I should be able to change the rebound basket myself. Gong Xiaobin pinched Wang Jiji's arm. Daji, you little arms and legs, let's practice for 2 more years. I played basketball for so many years, I haven't dunked a rebound, do you still want to dunk a rebound? What do you think? Wang Jiji smiled heavily, scratched his head, and said, People, you must not always have an ideal. I've wanted to taste what it's like to dunk and break a rebound all my life. Enmu walked to Daji and patted him on the shoulder. Daji, then I estimate that you will not be able to fulfill your wishes in this life. Okay. Gong Luming shouted at them, come, arrange the tactics, listen well. Everyone came to Gong Luming's side. Gong Luming began to arrange the next play of the Celestial Empire. On the other side, Eunice, the head coach of the Li Tao Bull, is also arranging tactics. The relationship between the Celestial Empire and the Celestial Empire was able to chase points just now, of course, because of Enmu. At both the offensive and defensive ends, Enmu all came out with incredible performance. Therefore, the next thing to do in the Pottery Bowl is very simple, that is, to do everything possible to prevent Enmu. We have to wrap him. And do everything possible to get off the basket. Eunice briefly said 2 general directions, and then began to carefully detail the small details. The maintenance of the basket takes even longer than a long pause. As a result, both teams were given plenty of time to set up their tactics. During this time, the fans were also chatting in the stands. It seems that Enmu's strength is indeed outstanding. He was only suppressed by Sabonis for less than 2 minutes, before he found his way to play in one go. What struck me the most was the dunk he just made with Sabonis. Oh my god. That's literally flying in Superman clothes. I even think he's not a basketball player of this era. Perhaps, he is from the future? Future soldiers? Ha 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 ha. Someone suddenly said such a nickname, but it was recognized by a group of fans around him. We feel like this guy is a future warrior. Yes, the flexibility and speed that does not match the center, the super bounce, the explosive power and explosiveness, and the excellent learning talent. These seem to meet the standards of future soldiers. His words aroused the approval of several people. Future soldier. This nickname began to slowly spread in the mouths of the fans at the scene. Finally, the staff repaired the basket. The race can go on. And, promise me one thing, don't let the basket go wrong again. Before the game began, the referee walked to Enmu's side and whispered. Enmu smiled and said, Okay, Mr. Referee, the game continues, and it is still the Celestial Empire ball. Enmu beckoned to Li Xiaoyong from a low position. But Sabonis immediately defended against Enmu. After being defended in front of the front, Enmu did not continue to come hard with Sabonis. Instead, he immediately ran to the 3-point line and made a block for Li Xiaoyong. After the block, Li Xiaoyong hit the inside line. Sabonis' height of 221 caused his traverse speed to be a little slow, and he could not keep up with Li Xiaoyong's pace at the first time, but he still accelerated to the inside line, and Li Xiaoyong flew from the inside line, and the basketball in his hand flew. Sabonis narrowed his eyes and suddenly jumped, using the bounce to make up for Li Xiaoyong's advantage in speed. Stretching out his long arms, Sabonis planned to give Lee Xiaoyong an unusually memorable block. But he found that the basketball did not go towards the rebound. Instead, it flew above the basket. And Mu, the number 6 player wearing the red robe of the Celestial Empire, appeared in the sky. The perfect aerial relay. Stretching out a hand, and Mu squeezed the basketball into the basket. Boom. 15-12. This wave of the Celestial Empire has already played an offensive wave of 11 points. On the sidelines, Yunus wiped the sweat from his forehead. Now he has long changed from calmness at the beginning to being anxious like ants on a hot pot. Hit tactic number 1. Yunus gestured towards the field. Hearing this, Matthew Leonis nodded and walked to the front court to make a gesture. The standing pottery bowl began to run into position. The quarterback used Sabonis' block to get a shot from the three-point line, but soon Hu Weidong and Sun Jun pounced on him. Matthew Leonis didn't pass the basketball to the quarterback, but to the small forward. Small forward catches the ball and shoots. Oh! A three-point shot to stop the bleeding. Tied 15-15, both sides are already on the same starting line. When the small forward of the Litao Bull threw this goal, the one who served on the Tianchao side became Liu Yudong. Sabonis glanced at Enmu and saw that this guy had quickly rushed towards the front. He didn't dare to slack off, and bowed his head to chase Enmu. Liu Yudong saw Enmu's sprinting speed and did not choose to pass the ball to Li Xiaoyong, who was closest to him. Instead, he passed the basketball to Hu Weidong, who took the ball without pausing. Kamaki! With a shout, he hoisted the basketball high into Enmu's hand. Enmu took the ball, and the special ball strode into the three-point line. Litao Bull's defensive reaction was timely, and both the big forward and the small forward rushed towards Enmu from the beginning. Enmu entered the free throw line, suddenly stopped sharply, and shot with his hands together. His realistic fake action immediately shook the front duo of the standing pottery bowl. The two looked at each other in the air, and they both saw the horror in their eyes. This guy's fake moves, so realistic. So much so that they completely forget that Enmu also has a shot. After Enmu nodded the two, he easily sent the basketball into the basket up and down. Enmu didn't even choose to dunk. Haha, this is the one I explained. Enmu's rare offensive score that is not a dunk, Mike Brin said with a smile. Enmu's previous offense was a lot of domineering dunks. On the contrary, this kind of basketball is very rare now, and at first glance, it is really a little unaccustomed. By the time Sabonis rushed to the three-point line, Enmu's offense was over. Looking at Sabonis, who was panting, Enmu smiled and said, "Hurry up next time. If you don't know what speed is, I'll give you a sample in a moment." In the first half of the next game, Enmu showed Sabonis what speed is. The style of basketball in the Celestial Empire has always been a little fast spirit before there was Yao Ming. It works very well against a team with a heavy center like Sabonis. Your side just finished the attack, and I immediately served to organize the attack. Little fast spirit also has a common name, chasing the butt and striking. This style of play is actually the fast attack method in the era of small ball. While the opponent has not yet completed the position, complete the attack immediately by shooting from the open position. It's just that after Yao Ming appeared, there was a big killer in the inner line of the Celestial Empire. In order to take care of Yao Ming's physical strength, this style of play was cancelled. Yao Ming's speed and physical strength are not good, but this does not mean that Enmu's speed and physical strength are not good. On the contrary, these are exactly what he does best. And Sabonis. When facing Enmu's Celestial Empire storm, he began to gasp after 10 minutes of playing in the first half. After 15 minutes, Yunus had to replace Sabonis for a break. Sabonis sat on the bench, tons and tons to his mouth. Fill with water. At the same time, he was seriously looking at Enmu on the field. This guy really won't get tired? Is he a perpetual motion machine? Never know how tired? Or am I old? Can't run? In the last 15 minutes. Enmu is constantly running on the inside and outside to achieve the purpose of consuming Sabonis' physical strength. In order to consume his physical strength faster, Enmu will also block and dismantle with Hu Weidong, using Hu Weidong's misplaced singles to make a fuss about Sabonis. Although Hu Weidong's success rate in singles Sabonis is not high, it has played a role in draining Sabonis' physical strength. When Sabonis came off, the score was 38-38. The standing pottery bowl and the Celestial Empire are not divided between the top and bottom. After seeing Sabonis go off the field, Gong Luming waved his hand. Next, it's a chance to surpass. Celestial Empire changes for lineup rotation. Enmu, Liu Yudong, Li Nan, Hu Weidong, Wu Qinglong. Sabonis substitution, in the Europa League, is also not bad. But when it comes to Enmu, it can only be his misfortune. On his first ball after he came on the court, Enmu asked the ball to play singles without any skill with his back and push to the basket. Open the mountain and cut down the trees. Storm wins. In the last 5 minutes of the first half, the Celestial Empire set off a wave of scoring climax. Hu Weidong, Li Nan, and Wu Qinglong on the outside are all good three-point players in the CBA. It also felt great today, with one man shooting a three-pointer. In the last 5 minutes, the Celestial Empire played a wave of 13-5. At the end of the first half, Celestial Empire led by 8 points at 52-43. The Celestial Empire is very clever, and they chose to consume Sabonis' physical strength. Sabonis' physical strength is consumed in Enmu's meaningless runs again and again. When you come back in the second half, Sabonis will definitely be more tired. The Celestial Empire's Olympic Games this year are simply open and hanging. The inner line not only has Enmu, the hammer of Thor, but also the needle of the sea god. And there are several marksmen on the outside. Li Xiaoyong, Hu Weidong, Li Nan, Wu Qinglong. The three-point shooting rate of the 4 people in this year's Olympics is all above 38% before, which is something that the Celestial Empire dare not imagine. It's not that Enmu's inner line is too threatening. There are so many vacant opportunities created for them. Also, the quality of the off-ball cover that Enmu gave them is also very good. There have been many times when defenders didn't bypass off-ball cover and let the Celestial Empire's shooters throw basketballs in. It's really a player who can influence both offensive and defensive ends while also helping his teammates improve. I'm already looking forward to the start of the new NBA season. The way he looks in the Lakers' purple and gold jersey must be very handsome. Hey, speaking of the Lakers, have you heard, the magician seems to be coming back? Yes, I heard, if he also reappears on the court, will the original Showtime Lakers reappear? Looking forward to it. I look forward to this alliance and reviving the purple and gold frenzy. Still, I've heard that NBA players seem to be resisting the magician's comeback. Although the magician and West have reached a consensus, the magician's comeback is still a little troublesome. Theoretically, Magic hasn't retired yet, and as long as a team signs a contract with him, he can play. At that time, Jordan had been retired even if his jersey was retired, and there was not much trouble to make a comeback. However, the comeback of the Magic, who is still a free agent, is even more troublesome than Jordan. Because, his illness, some were resisted by other players in the league. When the news broke that the Magic was coming back, the other players united to pressure the league not to let the Magic come back. Although these players all receive millions of annual salaries, it does not prevent them from being uncultured people. Even if most of them went to college. But is the university where sports students go to be called a university? They just know that this disease is terrible, but they do not know the characteristics of this disease. Moreover, magicians are not infected yet, only carriers. However, recently it has been reported that Jordan seems to be leading the way in supporting the magician's comeback. Also mocked those who opposed the magician's comeback as a group of frogs at the bottom of the well. This is God's style. Or rather, he's lonely. He wants to get over with the magician. End of halftime. Both teams are back on the pitch again. After returning in the second half, Enmu was still running constantly, consuming Sabonis' physical strength. The end of the game is getting closer. The leading score of the Celestial Empire remained at 5 points. With 10 minutes left in the second half, Eunice called a timeout and put Sabonis on the bench to rest. During the 4 minutes of Sabonis' break, the Celestial Empire extended the gap to 10 points. With only 6 minutes left in the game, Sabonis came back on the pitch. Both sides were replaced in the starting lineup. The game has entered the final tiebreaker stage. Standing Pottery Bowl attack. Matthew Leonis held the ball for half the time, and after blocking with Sabonis, he accelerated into the inside line to take away Enmu's defense. Suddenly, Matthew Leonis chose to pass back to Sabonis. After Sabonis received the ball, he ignored Li Xiaoyong and shot at the basket. 2-4, score. The point difference was immediately narrowed to 7 points. Is Sabonis' three-point feel back? From the first 3 minutes of the game, Sabonis' 3 strokes were good. However, due to tactical reasons, Enmu consumed his physical strength, causing Sabonis' hand to fluctuate. On the next few three-point attempts, Sabonis failed to make a single shot. In the final minute, he made this crucial three-pointer. Subsequently, it took 4 minutes to grind out the difference of 1 point. In the last 2 minutes, the Celestial Empire led the Pottery Bowl for 5 points. I suddenly found that the last moment of this game is similar to when the Celestial Empire played the United States before. Yes, at the end of the day, the pace is so long. But it's also really enjoyable to watch, and I feel like watching the NBA Finals. Last time, when the Celestial Empire faced the United States, it won the game. Then I want to know, this time, can the Celestial Empire still win? 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Li Xiaoyong and Gong Xiaobin blocked the demolition, and Gong Xiaobin blocked the external bullet after the demolition, taking away the inside power forward of the Li Tao Bowl. Li Xiaoyong scored to Gong Xiaobin at the free throw line. After Gong Xiaobin received the ball, he did not attack, but hoisted the basketball to Enmu on the inside line. After Enmu took the ball, he singled Sabonis with his back, coming. Everyone's eyes lit up. Until now, Enmu has not hit Sabonis once. His score is almost entirely a mask score. The only time he scored with his back was when he singled Sabonis as a substitute just now. Celestial Dynasty Behemoth versus Roof of the World. Or rather, Future Warrior versus Roof of the World. Scoring this goal, the Celestial Empire can continue to extend the score. In the last 2 minutes, every minute counts. If the Celestial Empire can achieve a 5-game winning record in the group stage, then in the subsequent knockout rounds, they will hardly have any opponents. This goal is very important for the knockout matches after the Celestial Empire. It can even be used as a final declaration. Episode 77, Exchange. Dimensional Level Skills. And handsome guy received 1,000 paper crane love letters. The pitch is low. Enmu played Sabonis with the ball on his back. With the ball in his right hand, he pressed his body weight on Sabonis' arm. Sabonis stood firmly under the basket, his legs resisting the force from Enmu. Bang! Enmu hit back for the first time. Sabonis snorted, but was still firmly nailed to the ground. The height plus weight advantage gives Sabonis a greater advantage than Olajuwon and O'Neal when facing Enmu's back hit. Bang! Bang! I saw Enmu quickly hit twice on the back, disrupting Sabonis' center of gravity. The footsteps shifted, and the lightning turned. Before Sabonis could react, Enmu had already finished his life, jumping and dunking. Boom! Beautiful turnaround and back hit someone. Because of Enmu's violent power, Sabonis was directly scored on his head by Enmu before he had time to react. Judging from the first game against the American men's basketball team in the Olympic Games, Enmu's personal scoring ability has actually been rising. Oh my god. I really don't know what kind of strength this guy will become in the future. Yes, after the Olympics, it's only 3 months before the new NBA season starts. In the next 3 months, this guy won't continue to get stronger, right? Many American fans whispered in the spectators. This Celestial Empire champion, who led the team to blow up the American team, has begun to make them tremble. Standing pottery bowl attack. Sabonis held the ball at the free throw line, at which point Matthew Leonis used his strong body to knock away the defender with the cover of the team's small forward and cut directly to the basket. Sabonis gave the basketball to Matthew Leonis with precision. Matthew Leonis, who has excellent physical fitness, took off to the basket after getting the basketball, and no one was defended. Matthew Leonis in the air. I've already thought about the celebratory action I should do in a while. Snap. By the time Matthew Leonis attacked the basket, Enmu had already released Sabonis and rushed to the basket with all his might. Enmu's speed was extremely fast, jumping at the speed of light, and violently slammed the basketball into the rebound in the air. After a rebound, the basketball bounced back. Sun Jun found the opportunity and got the basketball. Matthew Leonis was hit by the huge force of Enmu's cap and was directly hit by the hat on the ground. Li Xiaoyong immediately took possession of the ball and led the Celestial Dynasty team to launch a counterattack. Kamaki! Li Xiaoyong shouted and threw the basketball in his hand towards the basket. Enmu sprinted to the free throw line, took 2 big steps, reached out in the air to catch the ball, and completed the perfect aerial relay. Boom! Time, only 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. The Celestial Empire leading score has come to 11 points. Game over. Game over, commentator Mike Bryn said along with Albert. When Enmu scored 4 points in a row, the Li Tao Bowl obviously had no ability to continue chasing points. They can't catch up with 11 points in a row in 1 minute. Enmu has once again become the hero of the Celestial Empire team. His excellent performance allowed the Celestial Empire to win the 5th victory of the Olympic Games. Let's congratulate the Celestial Dynasty team. They have become the team with the best group stage record in this year's Olympics. How will they play in the next knockout rounds? With only 1 minute left, the Ing Tao Bowl men's basketball team had already given up the game. At this time, the cheers of the fans of the Celestial Empire came from the spectators. Their numbers are small, but they make the players of the Celestial Dynasty team very happy. They play in the United States across the ocean, but they can still have fans who support them. They did not disappoint the fans either, sending them a wonderful victory. At this time, Enmu looked at the location where Lee Jae-sun was. She was also looking at Enmu at this time. The two looked at each other, and Lee Jae-sun in the field gave Enmu a thumbs up. Then he showed him the unique jersey on his body, only Enmu's signature jersey. Awesome. Kyoto. Gao Yuanyuan happily looked at Enmu, who won on the court. Brother Mu hasn't returned to Los Angeles yet, so he won't reply when he writes to him. Alas. How nice it would be if I had a phone of my own. Gao Yuanyuan held his smiling face with one hand, looking at Enmu on the TV, but he couldn't suppress his thoughts about Enmu. The group stage has been successfully concluded. The Celestial Empire's 5-0 record has become the best group stage record in men's basketball at this year's Olympic Games. Even the American team lost when facing the Celestial Empire. The Litau Bowl and Croatia also did not win the match against the Celestial Empire. According to the latest issue of the Strength Ranking of Sports Illustrated, the Celestial Empire has surpassed the Litau Bowl and Croatia to become the second team in the world men's basketball team. Bye. Gong Xiaobin looked at the sports magazine in his hand and said indignantly, "We have all defeated the American team. Why shoot us a second? Shouldn't we be number one?" Enmu watched the video of the first few games of the American team and said, "The strength of the volleyball team of Sports Illustrated must not only look at the strength of this year, they still look at the strength of previous years. The Dream first team in 1992 and the Dream second team in the 1994 World Championships were very strong. There were almost no opponents, all of them won gold medals. And our Celestial Dynasty team has not won any honors before, so it is directly ranked second." Gong Xiaobin said, "Then if we meet the American team again in the knockout round, we must beat them." After hearing Gong Xiaobin's words, Enmu said with great certainty, "If we can beat the American team once, we can beat them a second time. We have to use our own strength to put the top of sports painting skills. There's nothing remarkable about the US team. Now, don't think about those that are not there, hurry up and watch the video with me. After beating the United States in the group stage, they will only pay more attention to us. We can't let up on anything." After hearing Enmu's words, Gong Xiaobin, who has always been lazy, nodded and said, "If I can beat the American team this year, I can blow for a lifetime." Enmu glanced up at him, won 2000 Olympics, also defeated the American team. What should I do? Gong Xiaobin scratched his head and said, "Then save it for the next life to blow." Enmu gave a thumbs up, clear thinking. Logical meticulous. After the two finished chatting, they immediately began to watch the video playback of the American team. Except for the opening loss to the Celestial Empire, the United States and all other teams won by a big score. The only small score winner was the Litau Bowl men's basketball team with Sabonis. After the Celestial Empire won their first game, the American team has been holding its breath and preparing to get back. Wilkins, the head coach of the Dream 3 team, said in an interview after every game, "It was the defeat in the opener that gave this team motivation. It was the defeat of that game that allowed us to control the mistake and play aggressively." Other Dream 3 players in interviews also mentioned the failure of the opener. They did not evade anything, but faced their defeat head-on. Such an opponent, it's terrible. Enmu, while watching the video, is also thinking about ways to improve his strength. After defeating the Litau Bowl men's basketball team, the glory point of the black basket system has reached 550 points. How to reasonably allocate these 550 glory points is a big problem for Enmu. Each black basket skill requires 500 glory points. But how do you choose the black basket skill? Enmu opened them all. As far as the eye can see, it is all the skills of the black basket characters. Seijiro Akagi, Daiki Aoman, Shintaro Midorima. But none of this is suitable for Enmu. In the end, Enmu set his sights on another skill that Jason Sieber possessed. Wild Tyrannosaurus. In the world of black baskets, wildness means sensitivity to basketball, accurate grasp of the ball, quick reflexes, high bursts, like predation of beasts, is a style of play. The wild nature of the Vulcan ego is the tiger. Aoman Daiki's wild nature is a cheetah. And Jason Sieb's wildness? It's a Tyrannosaurus. If this skill is chosen, Enmu's sensitivity to basketball will be greater. God's chosen body, and Wild Tyrannosaurus, are all from Jason Sieb, and they can also achieve a perfect fit. Perhaps, what I need next for close-range training, such as footwork and hooking, is the control of basketball like Wild Tyrannosaurus? Enmu muttered. His current pace and Gong Xiaobin practice are quite good, although the left and right hooks have performed well in training. But once in the middle of the game, the use of the footwork will come to a standstill. The last time he used a Dream footstep replica for Elijuan, it was a complete coincidence. As for hooks, the hit rate will drop sharply due to strong confrontation. Although Enmu's physical fitness is very strong, the technical aspect is still not delicate enough. The skill description of Wild Tyrannosaurus is to enhance Enmu's basketball of control and sensitivity. Perhaps this is the most suitable. Without thinking too much, Enmu chose the Wild Tyrannosaurus immediately. Ding! Congratulations on spending 500 glory points to redeem the skill, Wild Tyrannosaurus. Enmu opened his character panel again. On the skill panel, it has become God's Chosen Body, Dimensional Level Defensive Reaction Nerve, Iron Hammer of Destruction, Wild Tyrannosaurus. It can be said that the skills of the two most powerful centers in the black basket are about to be mastered by Enmu. In terms of talent, Enmu can already be regarded as the strongest center in history. However, in terms of technique, he is still just a rough player. After the Olympics, hone your skills. Enmu set a goal for himself. Talent is only talent after all. If talent can be converted into strength, then the lethality will be doubled, or even several times. After exiting the system and choosing a skill, the stone in Enmu's heart can also be considered to have landed. You watch the video first, I'll go to the training gym to practice ball. Enmu can't wait to try the amplification ability brought by Wild Tyrannosaurus. Gong Xiaobin heard this, or will I go with you? If you watch the video of the game, if Enmu is with him, he can still watch it. But if there is no Enmu, with his lazy personality, Enmu will not refuse to do it at all. After all, Gong Xiaobin trained with himself every day, and Enmu also learned from him. If you can let Gong Xiaobin observe on the spot, it will be more graphic and specific than your own self-feeling. You go first, I'll go to the toilet. After Gong Xiaobin got dressed, he felt a little uncomfortable in his stomach and said to Enmu. Lean, Gu donkey grinds feces and urinates a lot. Enmu complained about Gong Xiaobin and went out to the training hall first. There is a lot of flow of people in the Olympic Village, and athletes from many other countries greet Enmu warmly after seeing Enmu. After all, Enmu can also be regarded as an anti-rice hero. In the case of the United States playing at home this year, there was a bias in refereeing in all competitions, resulting in poor results for athletes from other countries. The strength of the United States in the sports world is also very strong, and this year's Celestial Empire men's basketball team can beat the United States, which can be regarded as the best project in the United States to beat them. The world of athletes is simple: as long as you can beat opponents stronger than you, then I respect you. Therefore, Enmu has gained the respect of many people. TSK. Again, dignity is made with fists, talk softly and to a strong enemy, who will respect you. Enmu thought in his heart while greeting them. Brother Mu, Brother Mu. After hearing the familiar voice, Enmu turned his head and looked behind him. Gua Jingjing. Jingjing, so happy? Enmu asked with a smile. I'm going to play tonight, Brother Mu, can you come to see the game? Enmu nodded and said, of course. This is your first time on the Olympic stage, and I will be there to support you. After Gua Jingjing heard Enmu's words, she happily took out a folded 1,000-paper crane from her pocket. This one for you. At this time, she said with some trepidation. Inside. There are words. With. I wrote it with that pen you gave me. Enmu took it with a smile, intending to open it and take a look. Don't look. Gua Jingjing said shyly, you will look at it when I leave. Quiet, this won't be the love letter you wrote me, will it? Enmu asked teasingly. Gua Jingjing's face turned even redder when she heard this. You. See for yourself. After speaking, she fled. In this way, it is the same as when I gave myself a white bracer. Enmu smiled and watched Gua Jingjing's back get farther and farther away. Lowering his head, he looked at the 1,000-paper cranes in his hand. Dismantled for half a minute, Medea, why is it so difficult to dismantle? So, vigorously produce miracles. Tear la, split the 1,000-paper cranes in half and smooth them slowly. Net these bells and whistles. Enmu slowly paired the two pieces of paper together. Read slowly, and finally came up with 4 words, girly love words, little girl film. Enmu muttered and stuffed the paper into his clothes. Hey, Xiaomu, why haven't you left yet? Gong Xiaobin walked to Enmu's side and asked suspiciously. It's okay, I just met a few acquaintances to say hello. Then let's go. Gong Xiaobin said to Enmu. Enmu nodded. The first and second team grasses of the men's basketball team walked all the way to the training hall. After arriving at the training hall, Enmu bent down to pick up a basketball. Suddenly, it felt a little different. Indeed, the sensitivity to basketball has really increased. There are many things in basketball that cannot be explained. For example, the shooting feel of the Curry family. Dad Dale Curry is so strong, Seth Curry is strengthened twice, and Stephen Curry is infinitely strengthened. If Amu's previous feel was O'Neal's feel for free throws, then just after redeeming Wild Tyrannosaurus, at least Dale Curry's feel for basketball. Of course, this is just a comparison. Amu can't have Dale Curry's three-point shooting ability. When holding the ball in his hand, Amu's control over basketball is much stronger than before. If he continues to develop, it is estimated that he can quickly start from the current Dale level, rise to Steven level. After getting the basketball, Amu casually hooked a few hooks under the basket. Silky. Come, Brother Ben, give me some confrontation. Amu and Gong Xiaobin said. Okay, Gong Xiaobin took off his coat and stood behind Amu to confront him like a great enemy. Amu took the ball, hit it slightly, and then turned around with a silky half and hooked shot at close range. Basketball is played into the frame. Brother Ben, increase the strength a little more. Amu was not very satisfied with Gong Xiaobin's confrontation. After speaking, he added, the kind that fouls. Gong Xiaobin said, I'm not afraid that your hook hit rate will drop. I tell you, don't worry, take your time. Your progress has been great, and if you practice for a few more years, you can definitely develop a hook. Years? This Amu can't agree. With Wild Tyrannosaurus, 10 years is a long time. Come increase the confrontation. After Amu finished speaking, he quickly bumped back, and then turned around again to hook his hand. Gong Xiaobin showed no mercy this time and pounced on Amu. Bang! The two bodies collided. In the past, Amu's hooker at this time would hit the iron. But this time, after the physical confrontation, Amu hooked his hand with his control of the basketball. The basketball hits the backboard, bounces off, flips on the rim a few times, and gets into the basket. Yo? Gong Xiaobin raised his eyebrows and said in surprise, this is Meng's, right? Come again. Good. Several times later, Gong Xiaobin increased his defense against Amu. Moreover, almost all fell defensive strength. Although it didn't hit all of them, it was a big improvement from before. A few did not hit because they were not familiar with the relationship of Wild Tyrannosaurus. After practicing a few words with Amu, Gong Xiaobin could clearly feel Amu's progress. I lean on. Xiaomu, are you enlightened? I said, why did you suddenly want to come to the training gym? That's how it is. Gong Xiaobin was very shocked. It's so unfair. How unfair? Your talent is too diao. The body is so explosive, and now the technology is slowly up. The point is that today, there is such a clear improvement. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it if I had killed it, Joe. And Mu held the basketball and another easy hook hit. Looking at Gong Xiaobin, have you heard a word? What words? Gong Xiaobin asked suspiciously. When people lie on the bed, their skills naturally rise. Episode 78. Come to my room for milk tea? August 11, 1996. United States, Atlanta. Phillips Arena. Let me congratulate the Celestial Dynasty team. After beating Croatia in the first match, they managed to defeat Deputy Nansra in the second game and reached the final. In the Olympic men's basketball final, they will face the American Dream Team. As the whistle blew at the end of the game, the Celestial Empire had already won 2 games in the knockout round. They will face the American Dream Team on the Olympic stage on the evening of August 13th. At this moment, the fans of the Celestial Empire cheered. Some of them held the red flag of the Celestial Empire and waved it constantly in the spectators. Celestial Dynasty fans from all over the world are crazy to celebrate at this moment because the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team reached the final. This is the first time in history that the Celestial Empire men's basketball team has reached the final. At the same time, it also represents the level of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team, which has come to the world class. This is a miracle. This is a miracle of history. The Celestial Empire, which was only the 9th in the world last year, has now entered the final. This is a phenomenon that has never been seen before in the history of the Olympic Games. It's a straight upward progress. This is a qualitative leap. On the pitch, the players were cheering. The 11 people of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team all rushed to Anmu. They played 33 minutes in the game, cutting down 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks, and lifted it high and threw it into the air. From the group stage to the knockout round, Anmu is an important core of the team's ability to win. In almost every game, Anmu's score will be 1/3 or even half of the team's score. This 19-year-old boy has brought incredible changes to Celestial Empire basketball. All the members of the men's basketball team threw Anmu high while shouting, "The final! The final! The final!" The players of Nansla's deputy looked enviously at the Celestial players celebrating here. The group of the Celestial Empire is Group A, and the group of Deputy Nansra is Group B. They are the best team in Group B, but when facing the Celestial Empire, they got a defeat. 76-66, they lost to Celestial Empire by 10 points. This year's Nansra deputy gathered the strongest force in his team, but still achieved such an ending. For them, this is unacceptable. However, considering that the Celestial Empire once defeated the American team, they felt that losing to the Celestial Empire was a matter of course again. Divac covered his head with a towel in frustration. He looked at the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team celebrating on the court, and felt very unpleasant. Before this offseason, he was a Lakers player and the best player on the Lakers team. In the big city of Los Angeles, Divac enjoyed the lights from the media. He was once considered a key player in the Lakers' revival. Even after the Lakers selected Nmu as the champion, Divac, who watched the draft in front of the electric 120 TV, did not have any worries. Because, as a technical player, he can play power forward. He has shooting, has passing organization, defends well, and can move to the power forward position. However, when the draft pick came to the 13th pick, Divac was about to turn off the TV. The phone from Jerry West rang. After answering the phone, Divac told West that he could completely coexist with Nmu and that he would assist Nmu well. At that time, West was still relatively satisfied with this, and felt that Divac could clearly distinguish the priorities. What was not said was anything similar. The team chose him to support my words, but business is business, and even if Divac changes the style of play, he is not a perfect fit for the Lakers. West said, "Boy, Los Angeles is not for you. Charlotte can use your talents better." After Divac hung up the phone, he looked confused. He sat on the couch and thought back to what West had said to him. "Charlotte is better for me? What does that mean?" At this point, he heard Stern's voice. The 13th pick for the Charlotte Hornets was Kobe Bryant. Charlotte Hornets and Lakers trade. At this moment, Divac looked up. He understood. "I'm going to be traded?" And it was to Charlotte, and was singled out by a 13th pick high school player. At that moment, Divac felt insulted. "Los Angeles is not for me. Charlotte is better for me to play? Go to Nema's West. Go to Kobe Bryant in Nema." At that moment, he began to hate the Los Angeles Lakers. At this year's Olympics, Divac has been holding his breath. He wants to teach this rookie who has not yet entered the Lakers a good lesson when he is in the duel with the Lakers champion Nmu. Let West see who is the best center for the Lakers. As a result, he was suppressed by Nmu in the whole game, and there was no room to play at all, and in the end, Nansra Vice lost. As the leader of the team, being suppressed by Nmu has obviously made Divac doubt life. Recall that this 19-year-old Celestial Dynasty champion had just played on the court. Constantly shouting for teammates to defensively change positions, constantly going to block teammates, directing passes. At the most critical moments, he never hesitated, and every time he was the first to stand on the first front. Whether it's defending or attacking, he's the most important player in the team. Obviously, the leader of this Celestial Empire team is this 19-year-old champion. Compared with Nmu, he is indeed inferior to him. Perhaps I really don't fit the Los Angeles Lakers. Divac turned in frustration and walked towards the players' tunnel. On the court, only the Carnival Celestial Empire players remained. Zhang was invited to explain the game with Sun Jingping. After seeing the Celestial Empire win, looking at the celebratory players on the court, the excitement in Zhang Weiping's heart was difficult to calm down. He can't forget how much he wanted the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team to enter the Olympics when he was on the national team. Unfortunately, for various reasons, it was not until a few years after his retirement that the national team regretted the Olympics again. At that time, how much director Zhang wanted to wear the national team shirt again and play for the national team. Unfortunately, it can't. Later, he coached the national team with Coach Qian Xinghai and became the assistant coach of the national team. Watching the men's basketball team suffer from the Olympic Games one after another, and every time it could not qualify for the group stage, Zhang Weiping could only watch from the court. Finally, before the 1996 Olympics were about to begin, he discovered Nmu. All-Star Game in San Antonio. Nmu's defeat of O'Neal happened, which made Nmu walk into Zhang Weiping's eyes. Subsequently, he asked for 5 sets of live broadcast of Nmu's game, so that Nmu entered the eyes of the fans of the Celestial Empire. He couldn't forget how excited he was when Nmu was selected as the champion. He can't forget the hardships he ran for 3 months in order to let Nmu enter the national team. What he couldn't forget even more was what Nmu said to him: "If the country needs me, I will never shirk." Now, it is the result of all the difficulties. In the group stage of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team, the first game of the knockout round, Zhang Weiping never appeared in the commentary. However, in the 4-2 game, he couldn't help but explain the game. He just wanted to watch the scene wherein Mu led the national team to the final. Now, all the efforts have not been in vain. The Celestial Empire reached the final for the first time in history. Looking at the celebratory Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team, Director Zhang said excitedly, "We won. We won, men's basketball made history. We made it to the final, from the group stage to the knockout stage, 7 matches, no defeat. This is the most glorious moment of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team, all the way. They left us with so many wonderful games. They opened the upset Dream 3 team, beat Angela, beat Croatia, and defended the Pottery Bowl. Beat Croatia again in the knockout round, eliminate the South Slava Vice, and reach the final. Let's remember all of their names. And Mu, Gong Xiaobin, Sun Jun, Hu Weidong, Li Xiaoyong, Wang Zhizhi, Beteller, Lu Yudong, Xing Wu, Li Wei, Wu Qinglong. They have brought the voice of unity onto the world stage. They have come together to defeat strong enemies. They have defeated world basketball powers. This is the honor of Celestial Empire basketball and the pride of Celestial Dynasty fans. Let's applaud these 12 people for their wonderful performance. Let's applaud Mu, the young leader who acts as the anchor of the Sea God Needle and the spear of attack in every game. This is the golden generation of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team. This is the heyday of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team. Let's cheer for the men's basketball team together. Let's look forward to the final coming soon." Director Zhang's excited voice silenced Sun Jingping beside him. Because he knew why this partner was so excited. He knew everything that Director Zhang had done for Mu. When the live broadcast ended, Director Zhang's face turned red because of excitement. He walked outside the live broadcast room, lit a victory cigarette of his own, and looked in the direction of Atlanta to reverie the celebration of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team at this moment. "Lao Zhang." Sun Jingping patted his shoulder from his back. Zhang Weiping turned his head, took out a cigarette and handed it to Sun Jingping. Sun Jingping does not smoke. He is a professional announcer, and he never smokes to protect his voice. Usually, when someone handed him a cigarette, he never took over. Zhang Weiping also seemed to remember something at this time, and said, "I'm so excited, I forgot that you don't smoke." He was about to put his cigarette away. But Sun Jingping stretched out his hand towards him. "You want to smoke?" Zhang Weiping asked suspiciously. "Don't smoke, but don't spoil your kindness. After all, today is the second most important day in your life." Zhang Weiping threw the cigarette into Sun Jingping's hand. "The second most important? What is the most important? Get married." After hearing the answer, Zhang Weiping shook his head. "Marriage is the second most important, and winning today is the most important. I don't want today to be the most important thing, though. I hope the day after tomorrow is the most important." Zhang Weiping's words were very tongue-twisting. But Sun Jingping understood. Today's men's basketball team reached the final. Of course, it is important. But if the day after tomorrow in the final, the men's basketball team can defeat the Dream 3 team and pick up a gold medal. So that it will be the most important day in Zhang Weiping's life. The news that the Celestial Empire defeated the South Slav deputy and reached the final set off a storm in basketball around the world. This storm is not because of how strong the South Slav deputy is, but because the Celestial Empire reached the final after defeating the South Slav Vice. Celestial Dynasty men's basketball vs American men's basketball. This game has become the topic of conversation among all basketball fans. Warriors general manager Turchevak watched Mu's excellent performance in the Olympics and was about to slap his thigh. Why? Damn, David Stern, our Warriors are clearly the worst team in the league, but you just gave us a 5th pick. Let's only pick a garbage Marcus Camby? Even if you give me a 2nd pick. In that case, even if I can't choose Mu, I can still choose Duncan. Although Duncan is not as strong as Mu, Duncan is also an intractable existence that can lead the team to fight with the Dream Team. Look at Marcus Camby again. Since the signing ended, Camby has let go of himself. Let Turchevak feel that this rookie is very unreliable. You don't have the strength of Mu and Duncan, you have the personalities of the two of them. Unfortunately, Camby, in terms of strength or personality, cannot compare with Mu and Duncan. On the other side, the Boston Celtics. Auerbach was also very hungry. Although now the outside world is saying that Duncan versus Mu is the tone of the league's development in the next decade. But Auerbach felt that Duncan was still a little at a disadvantage when facing Mu. Damn, David Stern, why give the Lakers the 1st pick? At this time, West was sitting in the office. And Mu is in the national team, and his strength has indeed been improved. Being able to train himself first in the World Series also helps Mu adapt to the league's confrontation faster after the start of the season. At the same time, the Magician's comeback has also been finalized. Jordan, Ewing and other stars are very supportive of the Magic's comeback. Stern considered that the Magic's comeback would greatly boost the popularity of the Lakers. As long as it brings attention to the league, then Stern is willing to do anything. The opposition of a small number of players is not decisive at all. The Magician's comeback has become a sure thing. Then, the Lakers and Knicks trade can officially open. No team has submitted a trade request to the Knicks for so long. Throughout the league, only one Lakers team is interested in trading with the Knicks. On August 11th, the Celestial Empire entered the final. On August 12th, the deal between the Lakers and the Knicks was officially reached. The Lakers sent out point guard Vin Exel. The Knicks sent out power forwards, and the Old Oaks Shaquille O'Neal. The two teams swapped players. At the same time, the Magician also announced his comeback. A press conference for the comeback was held on August 12th. The legendary point guard who led the Lakers in the 80s and played a Showtime frenzy will rewear the number 32 Lakers purple and gold jersey and compete in the NBA. However, because of his illness, the contract with the Lakers is signed once a year. The shock brought by this news is actually not strong. In the past month or so, the news has almost been publicized. So when it really happened, it just gave the fans a feeling that it was really so. When the deal was completed, Van Exel went home and flew straight home to New York. He's already renting a house in New York. Oakley, the same. The Lakers reached a deal and failed to attract the attention of Celestial Empire versus the United States. That is, the current network is not developed. If the network is developed, this topic will definitely hang on the hot search for a few days. The men's basketball competition of this Olympic Games starts from the Celestial Empire versus the United States, and also ends from the Celestial Empire versus the United States. From the opening match to the final battle, it is still the finale. On the question of which of the two teams will win the championship, many people have also given their own answers. American fans unanimously believe that the second time against the Celestial Empire, the Dream 3 team will be stronger. And Celestial Empire fans believe that if the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team can beat the Dream Team the first time, it can beat the second time. The major sports media are also covering this matter. Analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of the two teams from all aspects, he stirred up the heat of this game to the sky. Before the start of the match, the New York Times had a prediction article that they did not make any judgment on the outcome of the match. It's just a very professional analysis of the performance of each player and the overall playing style of the two teams since the Olympic Games. Moreover, at the end of the article it is also predicted that the viewership of this game is very promising to exceed 30. It even surpassed the 32.1 ratings of the 1993 Bulls Dynasty 3 straight championship finals. Moreover, this is only the predicted domestic ratings of the United States. August 13th. Celestial Empire vs. United States Final Day. Anze, come on for today's game. Before the start of the game, Mu and Lee Jessen talked on the phone. On the phone, Lee Jessen's voice was still a little trembling. And Mu said easily, "Why do I hear that you are more nervous than me?" Lee Jessen said, "People are just nervous. I wasn't so nervous when I chose Miss Hong Kong." And Mu said, "Don't be nervous, you will win." Hey, you snatched my line, isn't that what I should say?" Lee Jialuan said angrily, "I'm comforting you. Don't be nervous, I'll play well. Don't forget, you promised me a reward." And Mu finally said, "Bah. Scoundrel." Lee Jessen snorted softly. Lee Jessen, who was originally very nervous, was teased by Mu's gag, and her mood began to relax. "You promised, be honest." "No what?" When Lee Jessen heard this, she whispered, "Don't worry, Anze. I'm honest. After the game, come to my room with the gold medal and drink tea." "What tea?" "Milk tea." Episode 79, Kick Over the Throne of the Dream Team. The Celestial Empire reached the top of the world. Dream Team dressing room. Head coach Wilkins looked at everyone in the Dream 3 team in front of him. "Soon, we will have a match with the Celestial Empire. I'm sure none of you have forgotten our failures before. In that game, we were completely suppressed by the champion of the Celestial Empire. What is our goal now? 2. Revenge. We have a tough history. From Dream Team 1 to Team 2, they have never lost a match in any game. However, we lost to the Celestial Empire in the game the other day. This is the only failure in the history of Team Dreams. This failure will nail us firmly to the pillar of shame of history. I want you to think about it. Did we play at full play in that game? The country has the highest basketball level in the world. Not one of them. The basketball strength of the United States should also rank at the top of the world. In the past 10 days, we have been questioned by other countries. Don't you find that the Celestial Empire men's basketball team has become a hero in the eyes of many people? All this came from that fiasco. All this is an insult brought to us by that fiasco. In the last few games, we have won time and time again. In the eyes of all our opponents, we see horror and fear, but it's not enough. Because we beat Argentina, Croatia, other teams from the world. Only, not the Celestial Empire that defeated us. In this game, we must fight back the strength of the last game. This is the last game of the Olympic men's basketball team. This is the full card battle. At the same time, it is our last hand-to-hand meeting with the Celestial Empire men's basketball team. If we lose this opportunity, we will have to wait 2 years. Wait until the 1998 World Championships to complete the revenge. 2 years, let the dream team bear such an insult. Are you willing? I won't be willing. I wouldn't let my team lose twice to my opponent at the Olympics, an honor that has been lost by ourselves. We're going to get him back with our own hands. This game, all fans around the world are watching. We want to defeat the Celestial Dynasty team in front of all the audiences around the world. I hope that by the end of the race, you will be the one standing on the podium to accept the gold medal. I hope that by the end of the game, the media will be flocking to interview the players. I hope that by the time the game is over, the tallest on the flagpole will be our country's stars and stripes. Now, let's unleash our inner strength together. Everything that was lost, this game, give me back. Celestial Dynasty dressing room. Every position on the Dream Team is the best player in the NBA. They have FMVPs, MVPs, best defensive players, best defensive teams, best teams, all-star voting winners, draft picks, and even someone who won gold at the 1992 Olympics. In the Dream Team, as long as you can think of the honor, these people have won it. The Dream Team is the highest basketball team in the world. Gong Luming said slowly. But immediately, his tone became intense. But what about the basketball team in the world? Just like during the war years, the United States had sophisticated weapons and equipment, fighters flying in the sky, tanks running on the ground, submarines swimming in the water, and good logistical supplies. But so what? Do not forget that in all the wars of the people of the Celestial Empire against imperialism, it was we who won the victory. How did the ancestors resist them? With a passion for blood, relying on the unity of the people of the whole day to resist the enemy. Our equipment is not as good as theirs, but we have a stronger faith than them. We have more tenacious fighting beliefs than them. You will not forget that before this Olympic competition, every time we met the American team, it was a fiasco. However, just a dozen days ago, we defeated them fiercely. They became our men. We rely on blood and solidarity. It is the countless fans who support us in China. Now, we're going to play a second game with them. They came with a vengeful mentality, and we want to protect our honor. If we can beat them the first time, we can beat them a second time. Bravely fight and do your best to do every attack and defense on the field. We can't get them to take the win of the game out of our hands. Don't worry and fight bravely. If you win, count yours, and count mine if you lose. Celestial Empire vs the United States has brought a huge amount of attention and topics. However, what was brought to the players of both teams was a lot of pressure, and everyone was under pressure. The United States wants revenge. The Celestial Empire must hold on to victory. This game will inevitably be a white knife battle with bayonets to blood. The race is about to start. Neither team took any questions from reporters before the match. When they walked onto the court, the atmosphere was solemn and there was a murderous look in their eyes. Even the fans at the scene seemed to be infected by this atmosphere. Welcome to the Atlanta Olympics men's basketball final, the Celestial Empire versus the United States. We Sun Jinping. I'm Zhang Weiping. The match is still hosted by two people. Zhang Weiping said slowly. The two teams met in the first game of the group stage, and the players of the Celestial Empire played a tenacious strength in that game. They played perfectly in that game and eliminated all the opponents in all the next games. Now, the game has come to the final of the men's basketball team. Both teams take this game very seriously. This is related to the final gold medal and the ranking of the status of world basketball. If the Celestial Empire men's basketball team can beat the American men's basketball team today and pick up a gold medal, then the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team is the #1 in the world, and it cannot be denied. Can the Dream Team complete its revenge and continue to sit on the throne of the world's basketball world? Can the Celestial Empire men's basketball team defeat the United States for the second time and kick the American men's basketball team off the first throne? Everything, in today's game. The victory or defeat of the game depends not only on the strength of the players in the two teams, but also on the spiritual attributes of the players, the will to win, the fighting spirit of never giving up, and the team atmosphere of unity and unity. I believe that the Celestial Dynasty men's basketball team will continue to bring us surprises and miracles. The lineups of both sides were announced. Celestial Empire, center and Mu, power forward Gong Xiaobin, small forward Sun Jun, shooting guard Hu Weidong, point guard Li Xiaoyong. United States, center Elijuan, power forward Malone, small forward Pippen, shooting guard Michael, point guard Peyton. The competition officially begins. Both teams play the jump ball. The referee walked to the midfield line, looked at Mu and Elijuan, who were standing in position, and threw the basketball high. Beep. The whistle blew and the game officially began. With stronger bounce speed and explosive power, Mu fought for the ball for the first attack for the Celestial Empire. Li Xiaoyong got the basketball, and Peyton immediately came to do it. In today's game, Peyton completely switched his defensive style, which used to be Leonard, but today it has completely changed to Beverly. Tough physical confrontation and ubiquitous tackle threats made Li Xiaoyong's dribbling a little uncomfortable. The Celestial Empire's best opening quick attack was also unsuccessful. Seeing this, Hu Weidong stepped forward to answer, and after getting the basketball, he dribbled the ball into the half. With the help of Mu's blocking, Hu Weidong got rid of Michael's defense and accelerated to break through to the basket. The moment he got to the basket, he was supplemented by Ma Long, and the basketball came out of the basket. Malone collected the rebound. The US team immediately started a switching attack. Malone passed the ball to Pippen, who held the ball to the basket. Defend. Defend, Gong Luming gave orders to the Celestial Empire players on the sidelines. And Mu's defense speed is fast, and he stands directly under the basket to prevent anyone from attacking the basket. Sun Jun also quickly rushed to Pippen's side and interfered with Pippen. Pippen dribbled the ball to Michael. Because Hu Weidong did not score a layup, he could not complete the defense at the first time, so Michael was an empty opportunity at this time. After Michael took the ball, he shot immediately without the slightest hesitation. Oh. 3-0. Good ball. Reggie. You are my favorite player, Reggie Caleb, from the Walker. It has the toughest and most composed quality in the world. It seems that Wilkins replaced Anfern Hardaway as a starter and let Regamchale play was a good decision. His precise three-point shot will kill the Celestial Empire BE. He's the king of threes. The first goal was thrown directly today. Some of the Celestial Empire suffered. The Celestial Empire attacked again. Elijuan has put down all contempt today, and for Mu, for the entire team of the Celestial Empire, he only has importance in his eyes. When playing with Mu, he exerted his full strength to compete with Mu. Constantly defending around the front, making it impossible for Mu to catch the ball easily and comfortably. Li Xiaoyong was once again disturbed by Peyton's death entanglement, and did not complete the pass the moment Mu appeared when the opportunity appeared. In desperation, he could only pass the basketball to Hu Weidong again. Hu Weidong held the ball on the outside and went inside with the help of Gong Xiaobin's blocking. Ma Long immediately changed his guard in front of Hu Weidong, and Michael also caught up from behind Hu Weidong. Under the strong physical confrontation between the two, Hu Weidong could only move in the direction of the bottom line. He couldn't find any opportunities to make passes. 1. The referee's whistle suddenly sounded, and he pointed to Hu Weidong's feet. Hu Weidong stepped on the line. Wonderful defense. I knew it was our defensive strategy that was wrong last game. I lost the last game because the Celestial Empire was too weak, and we didn't make arrangements before the game. I was shocked by their performance after the game started, but because we didn't know about the Celestial Empire men's basketball team in advance, it led to our final failure. But after losing to the Celestial Empire, the coaching staff of the Dream Team definitely stepped up their research on them. In some of the game pictures of the Celestial Empire, I have seen the figure of the coaching staff of the Dream Team. Today, we can definitely defeat the Celestial Empire. Come on, Dream Team. The Dream Team defeated them fiercely. The mistake under this one bag made everyone in the Dream Team angry. Roar. After seeing Hu Weidong's mistake, Ma Long kept beating his chest with his thick arm. He glared at Hu Weidong. Today, the Celestial Empire wants to win? No way. The United States sent the ball from the backcourt. Peyton received the ball and dribbled quickly through the half, and immediately broke through to attack after reaching the front court. After Peyton broke through into the inside line, and Mu immediately assisted in defense. Peyton didn't rush to make a move. The 30-second offensive time of the Olympics can give him plenty of time to organize. Entering the interior line, Peyton guarded the basketball to observe the defense of the Celestial Empire and the position of his teammates. Suddenly, hit the ground and passed the ball. Bang! The basketball passed to Olajuwon behind Mu, and after Olajuwon took the ball, he jumped up and prepared to shoot. Mu turned around extremely fast, took a big step into the sky and rushed towards the basketball in Olajuwon's hand. But did not want to. Olajuwon did not make a shot when he jumped. In the NBA, Olajuwon played countless games with 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Although he is not as good as Sabonis, he is already one of the best in the center position. After he jumped, he attracted Mu's defense and chose to pass the basketball to Malone. After Malone received the ball, he bumped away from Gong Xiaobin and rushed to the basket. Boom! Dunk with both hands. Roar! Malone roared again. Look! This is our postman. Between attack and defense, he showed his excellent athletic ability. See? The Dream Team works better than ever. In the past, the Dream Team was very capable of attacking without passing the ball or only once. This kind of attack is very susceptible to Mu's excellent movement speed, but now, the Dream Team is starting to have more passes. More passes can make Mu make mistakes on the defensive end. It can also allow the Dream Team to find better offensive opportunities. 5-0. Trust me, this is just the beginning. Our leading score will get bigger and bigger. The opening defensive and offensive games of the American team have won great recognition from American fans. Previously, the US team only relied on their athleticism and individual ability to solve the game. This method works very well against teams from all over the world. In the past, when facing the Celestial Empire, just one solo show could blow up one of their teams. However, after the appearance of Mu this year, this style of play is no longer applicable. The style of play without passing or passing the ball is simply not enough to confuse Mu's defense of the world. You have to make 2 or more passes to pull away Mu's defense and score successfully. In the past, the players of the Dream Team were all teams in the league, and they played together for a simple run-in. But after losing to the Celestial Empire, Wilkins reimagined the Dream Team's tactics. It enhances the integrity of the team and weakens the individual offensive performance. When a team full of NBA All-Star level players really plays as a team, this kind of power is simply unimaginable. Li Xiaoyong held the ball for half the court. Mu pretended to be a blocker, and when he received Li Xiaoyong's pass, he was about to hit the basket to complete the attack. But the moment he caught the ball, Pippen and Malone all came towards him. At the same time, Olajuwon is also quickly defending. 3-person bag immediately formed. Mu's offensive opportunity disappeared, and even if he didn't pass the ball now, the basketball in his hand would be directly snatched away. Grab the bull by the horns. Pass the ball to Sun Jun on the outside. After Sun Jun received the ball, he shot a 3-point shot in the bottom corner. Oh! Not in. Pippen and Malone continued to rap Mu, and Olajuwon jumped up to collect the rebound. After getting the basketball, Pippen and Malone let go of Mu and went down to the front court to attack quickly. After their speed was played, the Celestial Empire players could hardly catch up. Olajuwon made a long pass from the back and passed the basketball to Pippen. Pippen carried the ball to the inside. Looking back, he found that Mu had already arrived. While shocked by Mu's speed, Pippen immediately passed the ball. After Peyton catches the ball in the bottom corner, he shoots. Today, the American team's shooting determination is much stronger than the opener. With the inner line guarded by Mu Zhan, it is not so easy to enter. Then the 3-point shot is extremely important. Oh! In again. 8-0. When Peyton scored this goal, it immediately caused a wave of cheers from the audience to be 8-0, hearty. If I'm not mistaken, the defense of Mu by the United States just now is a 2-3 joint defense, right? Yes. It's 2 or 3 defenses, reduce Mu's damage to the basket through joint defense. The Dream Team has really found a weapon against the Celestial Empire, and Mu's power on the offensive end today will be greatly weakened. Yes. After usually watching NBA games, I now found out that the International League can defend the second and third joint defense. Yes. The NBA does not allow joint defense, but FIBA allows joint defense. Through joint defense, you can strengthen the defense under the basket. Mu's threat to the basket will be greatly reduced. Just now, Pippen, Marlon, and Olajuwon have just the right 3-person bag for Mu. I'm more and more certain that today, the US team is going to win. At this time, in the 5 studios of CCTV, the atmosphere was somewhat solemn. Sun Jinping glanced at Zhang Weiping, and he did not forget what Zhang Weiping said a few days ago. He did not want August 11th to be the most important day of his life. What he hopes for is that today is the most important day of his life. However, now the Celestial Empire is confused by the waves of the United States. Zhang Weiping was also a little uncomfortable at this time, but now that he was explaining, he couldn't show these emotions. He took a deep breath and said, the Dream third team opened with a wave of 8-0 offensive climax. You can see that they have prepared a lot for this game. The outside line strengthens the projection, and the inside line adopts joint defense to defend AMU. At the same time, they have strengthened their ability to move the ball. The individual ability of the Dream 3 team is very good, everyone has a very high ball quotient, and the constant passing of the ball will make AMU tired on the defensive end. The joint defense system will also reduce the threat of AMU to the basket. The men's basketball coach is going to make some tactical adjustments. Through the strengthening of the projection ability of outside players, the defense of the American team is expanded. At the same time, we must speed up the rotation of players' defense. Not only let AMU play an important role on the defensive end, everyone should play their role on the defensive end. These things that Zhang Weiping said, the national team coach Gong Luming also saw it. Now the United States has played a wave of 8-0. If it continues like this, it will be 10-0. A lead of more than 10 points is not the same as a lead of less than 10 points. If you continue to let the Dream team continue to play like this, a point difference of 20 or even 30 points may appear. It is necessary to give full play to Enmu's ability on the offensive end. It is necessary to let the other players of the Celestial Empire play out in order to involve the defensive pressure that Enmu is currently under. In short, the situation on the field must change immediately anyway. If it is a little later, the backward score difference of the Celestial Empire will even be large. This is the most critical moment. The Celestial Empire team needs AMU. Unless the savior comes, the Celestial Empire cannot win. U.S. coach Wilkins sat on the bench and watched the situation on the field with ease. The American team has now formed a suppression of the Celestial Empire. The offensive and defensive ends of that Celestial Empire champion are all restricted. You guys, how do you win? Episode 80, The Savior is Coming. Wild Tyrannosaurus stops Dream Team 3. Steve, what do you think the next game will be? In the spectator stands, Kobe and Nash discussed the current game on the sidelines. As good friends of AMU, it is not surprising that Nash and Kobe came to Atlanta to watch the game. They want to see how Enmu has improved in the national team. In the past time, Kobe and Nash have also trained with magicians. I have to say that in the training with the magician, the two people have been greatly improved, and Enmu never appeared in front of them. I have to say, I still miss this guy a little. So, the two came to the scene to watch the game without telling Enmu. Not telling Enmu, first, I want to surprise Enmu, and second, I don't want to put pressure on AMU. Nash sat on the sidelines and took a closer look at AMU's performance on the court. If you say that in this arena, who knows Enmu the best? Then Steve Nash dared to pat his chest and said, I, Steve Nash, know the existence of Enmu best. Even those teammates and coaches of the Celestial Empire men's basketball team did not know Enmu Nash. That's why Bryant asked Nash the question just now. After hearing Kobe's question, Nash frowned and thought for a moment. Said, with my understanding of En, he will not be willing to be restricted by anyone, even if the American team uses all means to deal with Enmu, he will still find an opportunity to score. When he was in the NCAA, he was defended like this. Joint defense plus defense around the front, there was indeed a period of time that bothered En very much. But it only bothered him for 2 games. After that, the opponent's joint defense plus defense around the front could not interfere with him. After hearing Nash's words, Bryant asked with great interest, what is the method? Can it have such an effect? Nash looked up and pointed his finger at himself proudly. It's a simple way to throw your opponent off the 3-point line, he said. I used a 3-point shot to make the opponent have to come out and defend me, ruining their defense. At the same time, and also found a way to restrain the defense, and then Santa Clara University continued to move forward. Kobe Bryant looked at the players of the Celestial Empire and said, you say, do they have an existence in the team that can throw opponents? Nash thought for a moment and said to Kobe, do you remember the number 8 player who blew up your Celestial Empire? I think he's possible. Bryant retorted Nash, fart. I wasn't blown up by him. If it weren't for En's defense against me, I would at least blow up with him, dash. Nash didn't care about this, and continued to laugh. Anyway, your data is not as good as his. The data is not good for anyone, it is blown up by others. Brother Dong, be ready to catch the ball in a moment. Enmu walked to Hu Weidong's side and said to Hu Weidong, throw all the balls I pass to you. Hu Weidong nodded. He is a 3-point sharpshooter in the CBA, even if he is highly nearsighted, he can still shoot basketball with feeling. In his body, there is already familiar muscle memory. In fact, such a shooter is actually the most terrible. This kind of player who shoots by feeling is the player who is least easily disturbed and plays the most stable on the court. Don't be nervous. As long as I am here, they will not be able to pull the score apart. Enmu said firmly. Li Xiaoyong held the ball to the front and passed it to Hu Weidong. Hu Weidong and Enmu blocked and cooperated, and Enmu immediately cut down after the block was removed. Hu Weidong hit the ground and passed the ball to Enmu. Michael, Elijuan, and Pippin again wrapped Enmu. Between the three-person bags, Enmu passed the basketball to Hu Weidong on the outside. Peyton quickly pounced on Hu Weidong. Hu Weidong was not in a hurry, and the fake action flew Peyton and shot the basket. Oh! Goal scored. The Celestial Empire finally scored a goal. Enmu used his threat to attract the bag. A very good opportunity to shoot from an open position for Hu Weidong. The most important thing now is to keep playing this way. The backward point gap of the Celestial Empire cannot continue to be widened. Zhang Weiping said a little nervously at this time. Next defense, we must do a good job. This is the key to the sound of the horn of the Celestial Empire's counterattack. Offense and defense switch. Peyton dribbles forward. In the face of Li Xiaoyong's defense, Peyton only needs to use his strong body to separate him. Coming to the front court, Peyton passed the basketball to Elijuan. Elijuan took the ball from outside the three-point line and hoisted Enmu directly to the outside by the way. In this way, the power of the Celestial Empire's inner line defense instantly decreased. The players of the Dream Team began to run, and after passing through the complicated running positions, the defensive line of the Celestial Empire had been completely washed away. There has also been a misalignment between the various players. Now the player defending Pippin turned out to be Li Xiaoyong. Pippin knocked away Li Xiaoyong and quickly cut towards the inside line. Elijuan immediately passed the basketball in his hand to Pippin, who lowered his center of gravity with the ball. The small forward, who already has 4 champions in hand, has played his offensive skills. Lower the center of gravity and slam it. Bang! A dull impact sound was heard, and Li Xiaoyong's figure and Pippin were not a level and retreated after being hit. Pippin took advantage of this opportunity to speed up to the basket. At this time, Gong Xiaobin suddenly let go of Ma Long and walked towards Pippin to make up for it. Bang! Another intense physical confrontation, but Pippin still controlled his body center of gravity after the impact and threw the basketball towards the basket in the air. Seeing this, Gong Xiaobin, who was in the air, gritted his teeth and reached out to hit Pippin's hand. Beep! The referee blew the whistle, and Gong Xiaobin felled the fighter. Pippin fell to the ground. However, at the moment, he was obviously very excited, sitting on the ground and making a muscular gesture to the audience on the sidelines. And the audience on the sidelines also gave the tough Pippin fierce applause. If only it were a 2+1. It's okay, the game has only just begun, and the strength of the players of the Celestial Empire is still enough. But when their physical strength begins to decline, it is when the confrontation weakens, and then 2+1 will definitely be indispensable. Taking advantage of Pippin's free throw, Enmu quickly walked to Gong Luming. He said to Gong Luming, "Gong Gue, we have to change someone." Gong Luming did not have any hesitation and asked, "Who to change, Bus?" Enmu said in a deep voice. "Let him change to the power forward position?" Gong Luming asked with some surprise. Enmu nodded, "Yes, trust me." Enmu said to Gong Luming. After Gong Luming heard these words, he did not hesitate at all, waving his hand for battle to replace Gong Xiaobin. After seeing Gong Xiaobin being replaced, some Celestial Dynasty fans questioned. "How did you take Gong Xiaobin down?" "Yes, battle is a little slow. Doesn't letting him play mean slowing down? Now the advantage is not on our side, and we don't count if we slow down or not. This substitution is up for debate." American fans were even more surprised when they saw Gong Luming replaced Battle. "Isn't it? The Celestial Empire actually replaced Battle on the field? Ha ha ha, is their manager crazy?" There is a saying in the Celestial Empire that it is called emergency medical treatment, and I think it is quite suitable for this manager now. This manager is still too young. Both Celestial Empire fans and American fans believe that Gong Luming's substitution cannot achieve good results. After Enmu came on the court for Battle, he walked up to him and said, "Bus, you protect the frame under the basket when you defend for a while, and I will go to the mid-range to sweep the defense. When attacking, you stand in the middle and don't go to the basket. After the attack, you must quickly retreat." Hearing this, Battle nodded, "Don't worry." After Gong Luming changed to Battle, he suddenly had a glimmer of understanding in his heart. He looked at Enmu on the field and was a little surprised in his heart. This kid ball quotient is very high. I was able to come up with such a method. Maybe changing the bus will really work wonders. Pippin made free throws from the free throw line, hitting both of them. 10-3. The Celestial Empire is still 7 points behind. Zhang Weiping said solemnly, Failing to defend the attack of the Dream Team just now is somewhat disadvantageous to the Celestial Empire team. This time, the attack must be fought down. The score difference must not exceed 10 points. Everyone was watching the field seriously. At this time, Enmu asked for the ball with his back in a low position. Olajuwon again had to defend Enmu in the front. He moved in Enmu's footsteps, and was about to go around to Enmu's body. But didn't want to. Enmu suddenly hit Olajuwon back fiercely with his broad shoulders. Olajuwon, who was originally moving, stopped moving in response to a muffled snort. Enmu made a push and steadily stuck Olajuwon behind him. Good. Zhang Weiping immediately applauded when he saw Enmu's method of defending Olajuwon around the front. Enmu used his shoulder width advantage to directly jam Olajuwon behind him. Such a shoulder width is too suitable for backfighting. It's not so easy for opponents to go around the front to defend. Shoulder width is too important for a player. Why is Jordan's back hit so bad? Because his shoulders are wide. You can hit the back and jam the defender deadly. Enmu jammed Olajuwon with his shoulder, and Li Xiaoyong immediately hoisted the ball to Enmu. Enmu took the ball and singled with his back. Olajuwon exerted all his strength and stuck Enmu deadly. As long as he doesn't let Enmu enter the basket, then this time the defense is successful. As we all know, Enmu's back hit has always relied on a strong miracle, blindly hitting the basket, and then turning around and dunking. Therefore, everyone knows how to defend against Enmu, that is, to use enough strength to fight him. Don't let him get under the basket. This has been done by Lithuania, and Sabonis' weight plus height makes it difficult for Enmu to get to the basket. But Sabonis was slow, and Enmu beat him with speed. And now it is changed to Olajuwon. His speed is better than Sabonis, and his strength is not much worse than Sabonis. Olajuwon mobilized all his strength to defend Enmu. Bang! Enmu collided back, and Olajuwon snorted but still resisted Enmu's position. Bang! Hitting back again, Olajuwon took a step back, but Enmu still did not enter the basket. Bag clip. Olajuwon shouted at this time, this is the most suitable moment for bag clipping. It can disrupt Enmu's back beating rhythm, and at the same time, it has a very good chance to cause Enmu's attack for 3 seconds. But at the moment when he shouted about the bag, Enmu suddenly half-turned to the side of the basket. Grab the basketball with your right hand and hook the basket. What? Hook? He actually used a hook to shoot? This goal definitely can't be scored. What else would this champion do besides dunk? He's not going to hook a basketball to the back edge of the backboard, is he? Ha 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 ha. Hurry up and grab the rebound. After seeing Enmu's hook and shoot, the American fans all yelled loudly as if they had seen some kind of joke. The moment Olajuwon saw Enmu's hook, he was also a little confused. Will this guy hook his hand? Impossible. I haven't seen his hook hand in the opener, and after so many matches, he has never used a hook. Olajuwon did not make any defensive interference with Enmu's hook, turned around and prepared to take the rebound. Gong Xiaobin, who was sitting on the bench, smiled mysteriously after seeing Enmu's hooked shot. The whole world thinks that Enmu will not hook up, but you will never think of it. This kid's hook made great progress after the group stage. He still can't forget the shock that Enmu's hooks in the training hall brought him. This kid is a genius. In everyone's eyes, basketball shot. Wild Tyrannosaurus, the amplification effect has appeared. After crossing an arc. Oh. Goal scored. 10-5. Fake, right? This is definitely fake. Luck. Luck for sure. How could he hook his hand? It's too good luck to score on the first hook attempt. It's just a ball, it's okay. Yes. He can't feel so good all the time. Olajuwon was also a little surprised when he saw Enmu hook the goal. Actually blinded? Then he was relieved. Meng Jin scored. Can you score another goal? After picking up the basketball, Olajuwon served quickly. Peyton took the ball and pushed quickly. Today, the Dream 3 team's playing style is completely unstingy with physical strength. Because they have a deep rotation lineup. A person is tired when he is tired, and there are people who can fill in seamlessly. And everyone who is playing on the court is an Iron Man in the NBA. 7 minutes per game, averaging 40 minutes per game. Physical? For the Dream 3 team, physical strength is the least problematic problem. Battle listened to Enmu's words and began to quickly defend after Enmu's back hit. Peyton held the ball to the outside and once again gave the basketball to Olajuwon. Enmu stood at the penalty line, cautiously watching Olajuwon's passing route. With the help of Ma Long's cover, Michael threw off who weighed on the flank of the three-point line to get the basketball. Olajuwon immediately passed the basketball to Michael. Michael received the basketball, glanced at Hu Weidong, who was still disturbed by Ma Long's cover, and aimed at the basket to shoot directly. But he didn't want Enmu's defense to come directly to him. Bang! Before Michael made a move, Enmu flew in and gave Michael a sturdy cap. After completing the cover, Enmu chased towards the basketball that was flying by the hat without any pause. After Olajuwon saw this scene, he also asked to go to watch the basketball. But Enmu swept in like a wind, stretching out his long arms to sweep the basketball away. The front court of the American team is empty. Enmu held the ball and strode towards the front court. Steve, what faction do you say and will take to dunk? Bryant licked his lips from the sidelines. Enmu had told him in San Antonio that dunks were divided into factions. Ethereal and violent. Enmu is two all-round types. I don't know. Nash shook his head. He will definitely choose a flowing dunk. Kobe said, that feeling of nostalgia in the sky is wonderful. Who knows, Nash also made his own choice after hearing Kobe's words. Then I choose the violent faction. From his recent relationship with Kobe, Nash feels that Kobe has an attribute that, according to Enmu's words, is called reverse poisoned milk. Enmu rushed into the free throw line with the ball and took off with a step. Ball in right hand, big windmill dunk. Boom. 10-7. Cut 4 points in a row. The Celestial Empire gradually narrowed the point difference to 3 points. The Dream Team must be steady. Yes. How did they unknowingly catch up with the point difference? American fans are a little anxious. On the sidelines, Wilkins was also very anxious. Hit the inside line. Enmu has now left the inner line, which is the moment when the defensive strength of the inner line of the Celestial Empire is the weakest. Peyton nodded hearing this. After advancing to the front court with the ball, the basketball was passed to Malone's hands. Ma Long held the ball low, observed Enmu's position, and found that Enmu was still by Olajuwon's side, and his heart was suddenly determined. After holding the ball and hitting the force, he is confident in his strength, and he can definitely blow up the player of the Celestial Empire. Bang! After bumping back, Malone hesitated. This guy's strength seems to be very strong. Malone hit for the second time, increasing the force. Still didn't bump into Battle. If it is replaced by Gong Xiaobin this time, it will definitely reveal the offensive space immediately. But Battle won't. He is a Hercules from the step. He is a being who can fight with O'Neal. He resisted Ma Long dead and did not give Ma Long a chance to attack. The third time, Malone used all his strength and crashed towards Battle. Battle is strong, but he doesn't fight his opponents on the defensive end. Obviously, the current Marlin is already a little annoyed. He didn't hold back his strength at all, and when Malone hit back with all his strength, Battle moved back slightly and withdrew his stool to defend successfully. Boom. Marlin fell to the ground. Defense from Battle. Strike. Battle used his strength and ball intelligence to complete a brilliant back defense. The whole game, after replacing Battle, began to change abruptly. OMG. How can the Celestial Empire team still have such a strong center? How can his strength carry the postman? It's amazing. The postman is so passive in singles. Celestial Empire fans were a little surprised at this time. They didn't expect the bus to do so well. American fans were even more surprised. They did not expect that such a player suddenly appeared in the lineup of the Celestial Empire. Battle bent down to pick up the basketball and passed it to Hu Weidong. The domestic Jordan held the ball to hit the front court, and Enmu also rushed towards the front court at the moment when Battle successfully removed the stool. Olajuwon followed closely behind him. The two centers, on the contrary, are the players who rushed to the front in this rapid attack and defense. Empty. Enmu stepped into the free throw line and shouted loudly at Hu Weidong, who had just controlled the ball through the midfield line. When Hu Weidong heard this, he threw the basketball towards the basket without any hesitation, and Olajuwon mobilized all his strength to jam Enmu. Enmu crashed into Olajuwon like a fierce beast, reached the basket, jumped up and reached out to catch the ball. Rest on. Big dreams take a big step and soar into the sky. 2.7 Intercept Enmu with outstretched arms in the air. After Enmu stretched his arm to receive the basketball, he didn't care at all about Olajuwon, who was intercepting in front of him. His muscles tensed, and he fiercely dunked the ball towards the basket with one hand. Boom. The basket vibrates. Everyone's eyes widened, looking at Enmu on the field like a demon god descending. Dameng couldn't stop Enmu's empty dunk at all. Even if Dameng has played all his bounces and jumped to the top. But under Enmu's defense, he still couldn't complete the defense. You know, Big Dream has a historic center who has blocked a quadruple double in a single game. But in this case, he can only sigh. Beep. And Mu not only got the dunk, but also Olajuwon's defense just now has been fouled. 2-1. This is the first 2+1 of the game. Just now, the fans of the American team are still saying that the players of the Dream Team will definitely get a very 2+1. But this moment, the time for a slap in the face came. The first player to score 2+1 was Mu. Moreover, as long as Mu scored this goal, then the score of the two teams would completely return to the same starting line. At this time, Wilkins' face was extremely ugly. When the American team played 8-0, he was still thinking that when the Celestial Empire was limited, the Celestial Empire could not catch up with the score at all. Unless a savior comes to the pitch. But right now, just at the moment when Nmukong connected the big dream. Savior. It's really coming. Moreover, this savior is the leader of the Celestial Empire who was restricted just now. Nmu walked to the free throw line and received a pass from the referee. At this time, the American fans made a huge noise. They are interfering with Nmu's free throws. However, Nmu will not be disturbed by these sounds. Instead, he smiled contemptuously at the fans in the United States. Because when they are desperate to interfere with you, it means that they are afraid. Nmu's free throw percentage was 80% in college. After redeeming Wild Tyrannosaurus, his control of basketball is more silky. The end result is that the free throw percentage has also increased. Aim for the basket and hit steadily. Oh. Cut 7 points in a row. 10-10, tie the score. Celestial Empire, it's up. When Nmu made a free throw, Wilkins immediately called a halt to the game. According to the current situation, the Celestial Empire will immediately overtake the score.